At my age, you know I've been to a lot of doctors. Healthcare partners, they really care. They're concerned about your health. They're all the best. I am Roberta, and I am a healthcare partner. Visit hcpnv.com to hear my story.
News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 751-0349. News is also brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444.
Tonight on News 46, the former mayor of Mesquite is now the prompt town manager. Structures are lost in the Carpenter 1 fire, and a single vehicle rollover occurs on Barney Street. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Monique Mitchell. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Monday, July 10th, 2013. I'm Monique Mitchell for News 46. Warwick Vale is off tonight. He and his wife Debbie are having their first child. All of us here at KPVM TV wish the very best to Rick, Debbie, and the new little one. A new town manager has been decided on. The town board decided to make the decision of who should take the administrative position in front of the public last night at the town board meeting. The choice of the interim town manager is the former mayor of Mesquite, Susan Holchek. The board hopes that Holchek can make some huge differences during the short time the term is set to last, which is 18 months, maximum if the town board form of government is dissolved, as was voted on last election.
There was a town board meeting held Tuesday night in the Nye County Commissioners' Chambers. The decision on who to offer the employment for the interim town manager position was one of the agenda items discussed. There were 6 applicants for the position. Among the applicants was Susan Holchek, Don Rust, David Richards, Ken Shockley, Stuart Smith, and Lorraine Murray. Before the official discussion and decision on who to offer the interim town manager position, Town Board's Amy Richards insisted that a definition of interim should be clearly defined.
I need to define interim. Is it 30, 90, 60, 120, 180 days? Interim means interim, that means not full-time. And I would almost like to see someone that's in here, either full-time or not. And I'll tell you, I would really like to make a motion to define interim.
You can't make a motion on an item that's not on our agenda.
Well, it's under interim. I'd like to have that more defined for me.
Town Board's Harley Culkin explains.
That's real simple. Interim means until this board makes another decision. If we pick somebody tonight, that person will have that position until this board makes another decision. And it's quite possible it could be until the end of next year.
Following this discussion, the interim town manager position was given to former mayor of Mesquite, Nevada, Susan Holchek. The interim town manager will begin her duties after she has put in notice at her current job. This is Jennifer Moots reporting for News 46.
Well, the Carpenter 1 fire has engulfed 6 structures in Kyle Canyon as of this morning. Here's an update.
The Carpenter 1 wildfire update is as follows. Fire actively increased on Tuesday from southwest winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour. The fire pushed northeast through Harris Springs and Prospect Springs onto Bureau of Land Management property. An additional 5,767 acres burned, 1 commercial structure, and 5 others were lost on the Prospect Ranch. Today, an additional 274 firefighters joined the incident. The communities of Kyle Canyon, Lee Canyon, Trout Canyon remain under mandatory evacuation. The fires burned over 26,000 acres as of this afternoon. The containment was downgraded to 10%. Total personnel on scene now is 1,077. The projected containment date was July 19th. The firefighters are now using the fairground as a location here in Pahrump to retrieve water for the helicopters to drop on the fire. They set up a bladder pool at the location yesterday. Last night, Fire Chief Scott Lewis spoke at the town board meeting. The James Bilbray Elementary School in Las Vegas is a designated Red Cross reception center. Public services such as information and mental health support are available. Clark County Animal Control is partnering with Red Cross to help residents make arrangements for pets and large animal removal. The second reception center is here in Pahrump at Hafen Elementary School. These centers are open from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monetary donations can be made to a variety of local charitable organizations and would be greatly appreciated. Projected fire movement north to Kyle Canyon and Lee Canyons, southwest towards Trout Creek, and east to Level Canyon and Harris Springs Canyon. During the next 24 hours, it may hook north into the lower end of Kyle Canyon. One of the structures that was lost was a commercial farm building thought to hold hay and equipment. Fire retardant was put on the building, but the building could not resist the heavy heat and flames. The cost of the fire as of today is $6.3 million. FEMA has stepped in saying that they will pay 75% of the cost of fighting this fire. This is Deanne O'Donnell for News 46.
Golden Gaming is announcing its partnership with the American Red Cross Southern Nevada chapter to support the Fire Hurts Red Cross Helps campaign.
This campaign aids victims of home and wildland fires such as those affected by the Carpenter 1 fire at Mount Charleston. Golden Gaming in Southern Nevada will let patrons add a donation to the top of their food and beverage bill, and the casinos in Pahrump will be collecting donations at the property bars inside the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino, Gold Town Casino, and Lakeside Casino and RV Park. Donations will be accepted 24 hours a day, now through July 31st, and will be delivered directly to the Red Cross. Golden Gaming is pleased to open the fundraising with a $5,000 donation. Today, General Manager Jeremy Jensen also told News 46 that they have donated 50 cases of water to the disabled American veterans who are in desperate need at this time. This is Deanne O'Donnell for News 46.
When News 46 returns after this break, we'll find out more about your pet food choices.
Delicious, doesn't it?
Call it kibbles and bits of knowledge.
It's not going to tell you that on the label.
We're breaking down dog and cat food next in Prescription Health.
Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrumps optometrist since 1990, offering full-spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300.
Welcome back to News 46. Here's a number that might give you some pause. 170 million dogs and cats are owned in the U.S. That's a lot of mouths to feed. But what exactly are you feeding your best friend? If you don't know how to interpret what's printed on their food bags and cans, it may not be what you think. Andrew McIntosh shows us what to look for.
This health tip is brought to you by Humana.
Visit our local office in the Pahrump Valley Junction Shopping Center or call 775-727-0871.
Okay, we go, 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 go.
For agility dogs, good nutrition helps fuel performance.
I try to feed my dogs the highest premium quality dog food that I can afford.
Everything has to be monitored and measured.
These trainers spend up to $70 per bag of food to make sure their four-legged athletes eat the best. But for a lot of pets, improper nutrition plays a major role in a big problem.
Obesity is not only a problem, but it's actually a disease in veterinary medicine.
Veterinary nutritionist Corinne Saker says a lot of people buy pet food based on the packaging, not what's in the package.
They see a really cool picture. The food looks colorful, a nice cut of beef or some chicken or some fresh vegetables. I think a lot of people stop there.
But they shouldn't. Saker tells us these are the 8 things to look for on the labels. The most important?
Is a nutritional adequacy claim, which is probably the smallest part on the label, but by far the most important.
The claim will tell you if the food meets the high standards of AVCO, the Association of American Feed Control Officials. Our trainers didn't know about the claim, but after scanning the back of this bag, they found it.
Provides complete and balanced nutrition.
As for pet food ingredients, the more protein, the better.
The higher up they are in the ingredient list, the higher percentage they are in the diet.
Beef, lamb meal.
But the wording on your pet's food could mean they're not getting the amount they need. If it says beef flavor, it has less than 3% of animal protein. With beef means it has a minimum 3%.
That's a very, very small amount.
Entrees must have at least 10%, and a label that has the name of the protein by itself will have at least 70% of that animal protein. While these tips might not make your pet perform like this, understanding what their food labels mean could help keep them healthy. And
a healthy dog is a happy dog and is around longer. Good girl. Good dog.
I'm Andrew McIntosh reporting.
Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Okay.
If your pet seems to be gaining a lot of weight, you may need to change the way you feed it. Sacker tells us you should never leave food out around the clock for your pet. She says free feeding is a big factor in pet obesity, so it's best to give them the proper serving size at set times during the day to make sure they're not getting too many calories. Well, a single vehicle rollover occurred last night on Barney and Betty Streets.
Tonight's accident report is brought to you by Stovall & Associates. Don't expect insurance companies to have your best interest in mind. Stovall & Associates cares. Let us help you if you have been involved in an accident.
A single vehicle accident occurred last night on Barney and Betty Street. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene along with Nye County Sheriff's deputies to find a SUV on its side with a trailer attached that had not rolled. Apparently 3 occupants were inside this vehicle when the trailer fishtailed on Barney Street. The driver lost control of the car, flipping it one time onto its side. All occupants were checked out on scene by medics and refused to be transported to local medical facilities. Nye County Sheriff's deputies are investigating. This is Deanne O'Donnell for News 46.
And this afternoon, one person was transported to the hospital as a result of a T-bone collision in the intersection of Blagg and Irene Streets.
A 2-vehicle T-bone accident occurred this afternoon at Blagg and Irene Streets. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue and Nye County Sheriff's deputies arrived on scene to find one vehicle with major damage to the front end and one pickup truck with damage to its right passenger side. Upon arrival, they did find one person inside the red vehicle that sustained injuries in this accident. He was transported locally to Desert View Hospital. No one inside the pickup truck claimed any injuries at this time. Nye County Sheriff's deputies are investigating the cause of the accident, which appears to be a failure to yield the right-of-way. This is Deanne O'Donnell for News 46.
Johar Tsarnaev attended his arraignment this morning in Boston. Tsarnaev faces 30 charges, which include the killing of 4 people and injuring over 260 in the Boston Marathon bomb attacks on April 15th of this year. Tsarnaev has pleaded not guilty. He is facing the death penalty if convicted. Well, the town of 6,000 people of Lac-Mégantic is still devastated after the weekend runaway train crash carrying tank cars filled with oil that exploded and have killed at least 15 people, and another 45 remain missing. Those still missing are feared dead, possibly vaporized by the resulting inferno. The engineer told investigators that he set 11 handbrakes on the train before it broke away. The train was stopped on a hilltop when it rolled into the town and crashed. Well, folks, keep it here because we're going to have more news for you after this break.